I quit my job and I've never been happier, but was it worth it leaving a job for entrepreneurship and business, going out in the big wide world on your own? Yes, 100%. I would never ever go back to a job. And I want to give you my reasons why, and I really want to express the freedom that you have in entrepreneurship opposed to employment. But before we do, because this video is going to be awesome, I hope you're going to take a lot away from it. Different surroundings. The fire's on the go, you've got the crackle and pop. I just hope you can hear me okay, but the smell of the wood burning right now is insane. And I thought it'd be a good vibe while we just talk through this video. And I just really want to give my reasonings why and the lessons that I've learned from leaving my job, and why I think if you are someone who is entrepreneurial, you want more from life, this video is gonna hit home with you. Now, for the record, I actually enjoyed my last job, for anyone that doesn't know. I was in logistics. It was easy, I went in, I could switch off. I didn't really have to think or do anything, you know, do the old tick the boxes and then I could go home. But what I didn't like was really sort of having this control over me of, you know, having 28 days holiday a year, being told where to work, who to work with, and just everything about my life was assigned to me, you know, it was given. And for me, I've always been conscious of the fact that as human beings, we have a choice in everything. Our health, the people we spend time with, the things that we do, the money that we earn, we all have a choice. If you want to make more money, you can make more money. You've just got to build a business to do that. You've got to serve a lot of people and get a fair exchange of monetary value for some service or product that you're going to sell in the business. If you want to go on to achieve great things personally, professionally, or financially, we have that choice. And I used to hear co-workers say things such as, I can't wait to go on holiday and escape this place. And I used to think, why feed a life that you're trying to escape? Or things like, I've been arguing at home with my partner and, you know, she's not happy or he's not happy and I'm just going to put some wood on the fire, or whatever it might be. And again, I used to think, well, why don't you take control of that and change the situation that you're in? And this always got me thinking that, well, I definitely don't want to be in employment my whole life, because I know that I've got too much to offer. And for me, it's all about control and value of time, right? I didn't want to give 40 hours every single week, 180 hours a month, for the exchange of anywhere from 10 to 18 pound an hour, when I feel that I'm worth so much more. So I decided to make a plan. I learned about business, I got around the right people, and I started moving towards business. I also realized that the office politics is incredibly toxic and very negative and very draining on your mental health, which is why, you know, I've put here, people end up being victims in the 9 to 5 because they wait for their employer to solve their problems by paying them more money. So they take no control, they've given it all away. They're at the mercy of someone else. I also didn't want to ever suffer with anxiety, depression, or loss of identity. And I've met many people who have got depression, anxiety. One guy I used to work with who was quite high up, he was like a regional manager, openly said to me one day that he's leaving because he's so stressed out at the moment. And he was on like £90,000 a year or whatever it might be. And I just used to take this on board and be like, I never want that. Like, this is why I'm making a plan. And I had a reason why. So for all of you, you need a reason why you're trying to escape a situation, and you need to fear that reason quite badly. Like, not fear the reason, but you need a reason, and mine was my son. But then you need to fear it not coming to fruition. Like, you need to fear something not happening so bad you make it happen. I also didn't like the way that we have to ask for holiday. And, you know, you're allocated only 25 to 28 days holiday a year, and when you use it up, you've got to wait until the following year. So there's not a fair exchange, and that doesn't sit well with me. So for me, my goal was always time freedom. I'm not a materialistic kind of guy, which means I'm not bothered about spending my money on fancy clothes. I'm sitting here, actually, this is one of my old work jumpers, right? I'm wearing Primark joggers, and I'm just very simple in terms of clothing, my day-to-day living. Like, I don't spend a lot of money, right? Which we're gonna get onto is like the secret to surviving in entrepreneurship and business when you actually quit your job, right? I don't deal with poor management hires and just the politics and the office gossip of dealing with people who don't know how to lead. Like, there's very, very few leaders in the workplace. And I see myself as a leader, like a visionary. And I'm someone who has learned how to apply compassion and empathy and respect for people. And I just saw that. That was never being shown in my 9 to 5. Like, people were talking down to them depending on their title, you know, the position. Like, someone higher up from a cleaner would talk down to a cleaner like they're a bit of dirt on their shoe, and I was never comfortable with this. And if you spoke up and you went against the grain and you had a backbone, you were seen as a problem. I mean, I was never going to survive in the 9 to 5 because I do have a backbone. I'm very loud and outspoken. I am confident. I'm authentic, and I just want to be me. So I knew this could only happen if I escaped, right? How did I quit? Well, I did start building a business in finance. I tried many different things, by the way, before I ever was able to quit under my finance business. And I just learned how to manage money. So as I started to generate more money through my business, I was able to manage it. So my salary was paying for our family bills. I was working my 40-hour week. I was working before I went to work. After I got home from work, I was working the weekends, and this was all for like the first few years, right? I slept less, and I had my key traits, which were discipline, patience, self-belief, focus, determination, you know, resilience. I was dedicated to the cause, and I had no plan B. And being able to leave was the best feeling ever. Being able to take control, being able to be accountable for my decisions, being able to path out my future, well, mine and my family's future. And handing in that resignation was just insane. And I never went back. You know, I never had to go get another job. And this was years ago. And it truly was the best thing. But the trick is really to look after your money. People in the corporate world, they will live their life to their salary. So the more they earn, the more they spend, the more their family life becomes accustomed to the salary that they're on. Whereas what I've done, and I would recommend to all of you, is that you always live within your means. Because I think we can all agree, the economy, the world, the way it's going, things are expensive and people are struggling. Physical businesses like shops, restaurants, they're struggling. And I'm in an industry now which is predominantly digital and online, you know, and all through online marketing. So I'm able to scale, earn big money, and I don't have to spend a lot. And that's the trick. Saving, investing, growth money, not keeping up with the Joneses, not spending money to look rich. And these were all things that I did which allowed me to cash stack for so long, and I was able to leave with comfort of knowing that I didn't have to, you know, pay large overheads, or my family life was, you know, a high standard, so we had to meet certain financial requirements. I didn't have that. So just to give you an idea, my outgoings now are still only around about £2,000 a month. And for anyone that doesn't know, my earnings are significantly higher than £2,000, because the goal is time freedom. Like, I love the fact, and I never have been happier. You know, I don't argue at home. I don't answer to anyone. That's the best feeling, is not having to wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to be late because there's been a car accident on the road, and try to justify it. And, you know, then that's a mark against your performance. I don't answer to anyone, and that's just such a incredible feeling. Also, the control of not ever being a victim. Like, so many people are waiting. I call them the 3 W's: wish, want, and wait. And there's so many people in life who are wishing and wanting and waiting for someone else to come along and solve their problems. And what you realize in entrepreneurship is you have to become a full-time problem solver. So no one else is going to save you. And actually, I'd like to just pass on a lesson, is that the sooner you can realise no one is coming to save you, not your employer, not your parents, no one. You have to look after yourself. And I think you learn that very quickly in entrepreneurship. You have to be a full-time problem solver. Whereas in the employed world, you become complacent and lazy, because there's always someone else you can pass the buck over to. There's always someone else you can blame. And that was the corporate world. It was a blame culture. I wasn't really happy in the corporate world. My job was okay and I got on with people, but I wasn't really happy. I certainly wasn't fulfilled. I had no purpose, because how can you have purpose building someone else's dreams, right? It's tough. Entrepreneurship is tough. It never ends. You're tired. The pressures are high. The stress can be, you know, pretty intense, but everything is down to me, and I'm willing to take that on. And I have designed my own life. I feel that I can get to the age of 50, 60 and still look back and go, Aaron, you took advantage of everything that you had. Like, think about all the free resources that we have at our fingertips. Like, why would you want to settle for less? Like, jobs aren't safe. Those days of people turning around and baby boomers telling you that jobs are secure, they're not. They're not secure at all. You're only secure if you take control, and you have no control in employment. Company restructure, you know, layoffs, redundancies. AI takeover, jobs made totally obsolete. Whereas at least in entrepreneurship, yeah, it's tough and it comes with its, its challenges, but at least you can choose where you're going to go and you have choice and you have control. The worst thing for me is literally giving my entire life and putting it in someone else's hands and saying, make sure I'm all right. You can't do that. So is the grass greener on the other side? Yes. Even when it comes down to culture and values and standards, well, what is the corporate world's values and standards? Backstabbing, gossip, brown-nosing, leverage of people in a negative way, playing people off against each other. The more you climb up that corporate ladder, the more it goes to a point. So there's only so many promotions you can have. You're not paid accordingly, that's for sure. One thing I have learned in entrepreneurship, especially in today's day and age, you can earn a huge amount of money. I mean, some of my months are almost laughable. I never would have earned that money. So when I look back now and I think, God, they were pushing me for promotions, which I had no interest in. I think even if I was given a promotion of 4 or 5 grand, I mean, I'll earn that literally in a matter of days at times. Like I can earn that in days if I put the work in. If I take control and I put the work in and I serve more people and I structure my business correctly and I scale at the right time, I can serve more people, provide more service and products to people, I'll earn more money. I have to wait in the corporate world. You have to wait for someone to allow you to climb up the ladder and then pay you a little pay increase. To me, it wasn't worth it. I don't like the fact that we exchange so much time for so little back. 40 hours a week is a long time to serve someone else. And that just, I wasn't comfortable doing that. Whereas now I hyper focus, so my work is really sort of dialed in. So 2 days ago, I woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I started work at 4:30. I did 3.5 hours of work. And by 7:30, I was done for the day because I'd literally done everything that I was requiring myself to do in that 3.5 hour period. And I had the entire day, and my family and we went off and we had a bit of shopping, and literally the entire day was done because the work was so focused and it was like big needle moving stuff, like what I call moving the needle. I still did bits in the evening, I did admin work and stuff like that. But when you go into a 9 to 5, like my old job, and I was doing 10 hours. I could do my tasks in literally 45 minutes, assign everyone their little tasks as well, who were sort of working with me. And then 9.5 hours I was done. But as many of you know, those 9.5 hours, I was working on my business. I didn't waste those 9.5 hours. I literally got my employer to pay me to build my business. So yes, I quit my job. I've never been happier. I'm very content. I'm not bothered about having the biggest house. I'm not bothered about having the nicest, most expensive car. I'm not bothered about having the biggest and most expensive Rolex, fancy clothes. I just love the fact that Monday to Monday, I wake up doing what I love every single day. My purpose is highly driven by the mission of my companies and what I want to do. And the fact that I don't have to ask anyone for a day off. If I decide that I want to have a day off and just mooch around, do whatever, sit down here, I'll occasionally invite a couple of close friends of mine and we'll sit down here, we'll light up a fire, play American music, and I'm happy. Honestly, I say it again, quitting the 9 to 5 is one of the hardest things you'll do in terms of making it sustainable, as in never having to go back and get a job, but it's possible. I didn't go to college, didn't go to uni, I'm not academically smart or anything like that. I've just got the key traits of wanting it to work and to be successful, and I'm dedicated and committed to making it work, and never having a plan B. But again, you need a reason why, and you have to fear the consequence of it not working out. If you have a fallback, or you have rich parents, or you have a plan B, or as they say, burn the boats, but you've got a little boat tucked away, hidden somewhere in a bush, you never go all in because you've got a safety net. You have to fear the worst for it to work. And I did. I needed to pay bills. It had to work for me, building a business and escaping the 9 to 5. Also, my mental health, I think, would have taken a toll. I'm pretty mentally resilient, but I think I probably would have lost my marbles, is what I'm trying to say. No anxiety or depression, but I would have lost my marbles and I probably would have snapped at someone. Don't sit on the fence, because sitting on a fence hurts your bum. Make a decision. I always say that anyone could escape their job if they had the right guidance and they did the right things step by step. Between 12 to 36 months, that's a great time frame to be able to quit your job. So 1 to 3 years. Keep your expenses low. Don't keep up with the Joneses. understand the one biggest flex in life that we can all have is time. That's it. Just being able to do what you want to do every single day, what you love, and that's it. So this is a very different video. I would say it was a general chit chat, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to put some more wood on the fire, get this going, and until next time, my good people, I will see you. I might do another one of these videos, by the way. I hope you enjoyed it, but I'm rooting for every single one of you. I really hope you do break out the 9 to 5, because I promise you, if you don't live a lavish lifestyle and you have a supportive partner or whoever's around you and they support the journey, I promise you it's just so humbling. Like, it's so contentment. Content is the word that I use. It's just very, you know, yes, it's weird. There's stress in business, but there's like no stress, if you know what I mean. I don't have stress. I have problems that I have to solve and pressures that I have to deal with, but at the same time, I'm comfortable bearing that weight. There's no dramas, there's no gossip, there's no one whispering in your ear, there's no one telling you what to do. It's just, yeah, the grass is greener, my people. Until next time, peace out. I'm wishing all of you the best. Let me know in the comments what you enjoyed about this video. What do you want to see next? Hit that thumbs up button. I'll see you all soon. Peace out.